What does this sport need to do moving forward here in the next few weeks to make sure a champion can get crowned?
They need to pray, Zubin, because right now the college football season, like a lot of things in our lives, are in peril. And the problem for college football is they can't change the future. They're not prepared to do a bubble. They will not change the calendar. And they are not going to budge from anything and everything that they have scheduled. And you know that. You've covered this sport as well. Nobody's covered it as long as I have. But these are not people that really care about anything other than what they have already decided to do. That's why they took forever to go to a playoff, and that's why they'll take even longer to expand the playoff. So when you talk to them about moving things back, they will not listen. And there are a lot of reasons, but it starts with January 1st being the Rose Bowl at 4 o'clock on ESPN. That's immovable. It's just not something that will ever change because that's the way it's always been. And that's part of the problem with college football, as you well know.
Paul, why did the Big Ten not move away from divisions? We saw the ACC do that. I mean, you could have a situation right now where if Ohio State misses another game or two, Indiana will come out and play in the Big Ten championship game.
Jay, why does the Big Ten do anything right? I mean, because they don't. I'm sure it's a good question, and they're going to have to adjust. This is contrary to what I just got through saying. The Big Ten may be faced in a situation where they're stuck without getting Ohio State in the championship game. And it's worth remembering. The whole reason they came back wasn't to satisfy Maryland or Rutgers or Indiana or Penn State. It was all about Ohio State. Ohio State had a legitimate shot at winning the national championship, so they had to figure out a way to give the Buckeyes that opportunity. So that's where they are. I'm guessing, always difficult to do, but they'll figure out a way to move the goalposts a little bit to help them out, because the Big Ten does not want Indiana as representing that side in the Big Ten championship game while Ohio State's sitting at home doing nothing. That will not happen.
Well, you talk about moving the goalposts, and you also said that college football is always slow to adjust. But when you talk about, one thing that college football always moves the needle is money. So I don't understand why they won't expand the pool and use the draft, use all the bowl games as a qualifier to be in the Final Four, because how can you really explain not letting BYU in if they go undefeated? And you look at, a team like Ohio State that may only have 7 wins. BYU is already there, so, be able to let them, answer the question who's the best team on the field, but use the bowl games as qualifiers for the Final Four playoffs.
Bart, you raise a great point, and I will not answer the same. I will not answer your question the same way I already have, because it would be repetitive. But college football takes care of its own, and you can compare it to anything in society that this explanation fits. But it's very antediluvian in their approach. They do not have much bend. I mean, this was the one year where they should have said, you know what, everything's different. Let's do a one-off. They've done that with scholarships. They've done that with eligibility. And this was the one time where they should have opened the door and let everyone else in the house, but they didn't. Because I interviewed the head of the College Football Playoff Committee from March until recently, and even as the world was coming apart in March and April, this man was saying, well, we're still scheduled to go off on January 9th in Miami. I mean, there's no budge with these people, and I wish I could give you a better explanation, but I can't, other than the fact that they're very stubborn people.
Paul, do teams like Cincinnati or BYU even have a shot?
Truthfully, no. Because as good as Cincinnati is, and because you're right, Jay. With only four teams in, I mean, we're talking primarily about will there be 2 from the ACC, Notre Dame or Clemson? Will there be 2 from the SEC? If Alabama loses, is it Alabama and Florida? And we'll leave out good schools like BYU. You're right. Luke Fickell's done a phenomenal job at Cincinnati, but there's simply no room, and that's why expanding this 1 year only would have at least answered that question. But the argument is going to be that their schedule does not suffice. I haven't measured it because we don't even know what it's going to look like at the end of the year right now with all these games being scrapped. But it's a really good point, and that's the best I can do. I know I sound like I'm a spokesman for the CFP, which I'm not, nor will I ever be.
No, but you and Bill Hancock are both follically challenged. Can I say that, Paul? Can I say
That's cold.
Oh, sorry.
You don't take shots at Paul. Come on, leave Paulie alone.
Boy, pot calling Kettle Black.
Zubin, I just got through watching you a minute ago. I mean, you're coming after me with my hair?
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll be there soon enough. One thing I should quickly mention on the BYU note, that was a really good zinger, by the way. That's supposed to be a walk-off moment. But I should mention here real quick, you're mentioning BYU and the SEC and all these other leagues. They're thinking about how can we crash course so many games in. We don't have enough weeks. We have too many games. BYU is just the opposite. They played against Boise State last week. They're not going to play again until the 21st. So that's 15 days off between the Boise State game and their next game. And believe it or not, they have 22 days off between their penultimate game and their last game. So while certain teams are just dying to play and figure out how to do it, BYU is just sitting there and waiting. It's the other side of the schedule equation. Paul, we'll see you at 3 p.m. Eastern, as always, on the SEC Network. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.